Today, we are looking at something huge, a massive shift in the global financial world. We're talking about three powerful forces all coming together at once. And believe me, they aren't just changing the rules, they are building a whole new game.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This isn't just one little update or some minor trend we're seeing. Nope, we're looking at three fundamental, ground-shaking revolutions. One in how we define value, one in intelligence itself, and one in how money moves around the planet. And the craziest part? They're all happening right now, and they're all feeding off each other.
So in this analysis, we're going to connect the dots. We're going to show you how this brand new type of digital scarcity is laying the foundation, how a new workforce of AI is being built on top of it, and how the actual financial rails of the world are basically being torn up and replaced to make it all work.
All right. First up, let's talk about the absolute bedrock of this new economy. It's an idea that really flips centuries of money on its head. Absolute, provable, mathematical scarcity.
So back in early March of 2026, we hit this huge milestone. The Bitcoin network officially mined its 20 millionth coin. Now, that's not just some random number, it's a massive economic signal to the entire world. And here's why that number is so incredibly important. It means that over 95% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist is already out in the wild. And that tiny little slice left, it's going to take another 114 years to get the rest of it. The scarcity is very real and it is tightening. You know, unlike any currency a government has ever issued, or even precious metals for that matter, Bitcoin's supply can't be changed by a person's decision. It is locked in by code. I mean, look at the Roman denarius. It went from 95% silver to practically nothing. Bitcoin's inflation rate, on the other hand, is programmed to do the exact opposite, to fall over time, which makes it, you could argue, the hardest asset in all of human history. And this right here, this shows you exactly who is setting the price now. This is not a retail-driven market anymore, not by a long shot. You've got US ETFs holding over 1 million Bitcoin, corporate giants like MicroStrategy controlling huge percentages of the total supply. The power has without a doubt shifted to Wall Street and corporate balance sheets. But here's the plot twist. While all these institutions are buying up Bitcoin like crazy, the very people securing the network, the miners, are getting squeezed like never before. And this pressure is forcing them to rethink their whole business. They're starting to pivot their massive energy and computing power towards something even more profitable, powering the AI revolution. And that pivot by the miners, it's the perfect bridge to our second revolution. So we've got this new store of value, and now we're seeing the rise of a completely new kind of workforce that's literally designed to use it, autonomous AI agents. Now, we're not just talking about some advanced chatbots here. Think of these things as independent economic players. I mean, an AI agent can't exactly walk into a bank and open an account, right? So they need a financial system that's built for machines, and that's what blockchains give them. Crypto wallets to hold assets and smart contracts to set the rules. And the sheer scale of this new economy is just staggering. By 2030, analysts are projecting that the economic activity driven by these autonomous agents will be worth over $30 trillion. That is a seismic shift in who or what is actually driving our global economy. So how do we actually tell this new workforce what to do? Well, it's through something called intent-centric architecture. Basically, you give it a high-level goal in plain English, something simple like, hey, minimize my transaction fees. The agent then uses these new protocols, like EIP 7702, which is kind of like a secure one-time permission slip, to figure out the best strategy, test it, and then execute it on-chain for you. But of course, there's a flip side. This explosion in AI power creates a massive, massive problem. When anyone can create fake content that looks completely real, we get a crisis of digital trust. In a world flooded with deepfakes, how do you verify anything?
And the financial damage is already just devastating. We're talking over $50 billion in losses from identity fraud in 2025 alone, and cases involving deepfakes shot up 340% in just 1 year. It's pretty clear the old ways of verifying things are completely broken.
So we obviously need a new way to establish trust. Old methods, like checking a file's metadata, are super easy to fake. And AI detectors, they're always playing catch-up with the latest AI generator. The real solution, it turns out, is combining an industry standard called C2PA with the blockchain. And here's why that's so powerful. The system takes a unique digital fingerprint, a cryptographic hash, of the original photo or video. If you change even one tiny pixel, that fingerprint changes completely.
By putting that original fingerprint on the blockchain, we create a permanent, unforgeable record of where it came from. That's what true digital provenance looks like. Okay, so we've got a new hard asset. We have a new AI workforce. But for them to actually work together on a global scale, they need a whole new financial plumbing system. And this brings us to our third and final revolution, the complete reinvention of payment rails.
For decades, global finance has run on this slow, clunky system called batch processing. Transactions get bundled up and settled days later, and only when the banks are open. The new world is built on something called atomic settlement. And atomic just means it's an all-or-nothing exchange. The asset and the payment swap places at the exact same instant, or the whole thing fails. This makes settlement instant, final, and it can happen 24/7. It completely gets rid of the risk that the other side won't pay up.
This whole evolution takes us from that high-friction world of bank ledgers through these newer API systems and into a brand new era of tokenized value. What that means is using assets like stablecoins on a blockchain to send value anywhere in the world instantly, programmably, and for almost zero cost.
And listen, this is not some fringe idea. The world's most powerful central banks, we're talking the Fed, the Bank of England, and more, they're all working together on something called Project Agora. Their goal is to build a unified ledger, which is basically a shared, transparent database where tokenized money from different countries can be swapped instantly. This makes the old, slow, correspondent banking system totally obsolete and gives regulators a much clearer view of what's happening. Okay, so let's put it all together. These three revolutions, absolute scarcity, the AI agent economy, and tokenized payments, they aren't happening in isolation. They are the essential interlocking pieces of one single massive shift in how our economy works.
So to recap everything we've talked about, we have a new anchor for value that can't be inflated away in a digital world. We have a new type of economic player, these AI agents, that will create and trade that value. And we have new instantaneous global payment rails for all of it to run on. And this quote just nails the destination perfectly. A global economy that never sleeps, driven by autonomous agents, and settled with tokenized value. You know, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is the programmable, autonomous system that's being built right now as we speak.
Which really leaves us with one final, pretty important question to think about. In a world where trillions of dollars in financial decisions are being made autonomously by AI, what does the future of human oversight even look like? What is our role in this new economy? Thanks for watching.